Deep in the heart of the Pennsylvania wilds lies the breathtaking Kinzua Valley, a place of raw beauty and untamed wilderness. For centuries, this remote region was impassable, its rugged landscape a challenge to industry and innovation alike. But in the 19th century, that was all about to change. And in 1882, engineers undertook one of the most ambitious projects of the entire era, the construction of the Kinzua Bridge. Spanning over 300 feet above the valley floor, this mighty structure was the highest railroad bridge in the world at the time, a feat of ingenuity and determination. With its 2,000-foot length, the bridge connected trade routes, symbolizing progress and expansion in the face of nature's challenges. For over a century, the Kinzua Bridge stood as a monument to human ambition, carrying trains across the Kinzua Gorge. It was a lifeline, bringing industry to the remote corners of northwestern Pennsylvania, and a marvel to those who laid eyes upon it. But nature, ever unpredictable and relentless, had other plans. On July 21st, 2003, a powerful tornado swept through the valley. In a matter of minutes, one of the greatest man-made wonders in the region was brought to its knees. The tornado, with wind speeds reaching 94 miles per hour, ripped through the structure, toppling 11 of its 20 towers. The storm bent the iron beams like matchsticks, scattering debris across the valley floor. The once proud Kinzua Bridge was left in ruins, a tragic reminder of nature's unstoppable force. Today, the Kinzua Bridge stands not as a symbol of defeat, but of renewal. Now a state park, visitors can walk along the Kinzua Skywalk, a viewing platform extending out over the valley, offering a breathtaking look into the gorge and the remnants of the fallen towers below. Covering over 330 acres, the Kinzua Bridge State Park is a gateway to the Pennsylvania wilds, a region of unparalleled natural beauty and rich history. Known for its vast forests, pristine rivers, and diverse wildlife, the PA Wilds is a sanctuary for adventure seekers, nature lovers, and those who wish to connect with the spirit of the land. This is a place where history and nature converge, a land where towering hemlocks and oaks stand alongside the remnants of human ambition. The Kinzua Bridge may have fallen, but the spirit of the PA Wilds endures, a timeless testament to the balance between man and nature. So as always, enough talking, let's get to hiking. Alrighty folks, well, good morning and welcome to beautiful McKean County, Pennsylvania. And as you probably already seen in the title, we are here at State Park number 39, Kinzua Bridge State Park. So I got up pretty early this morning, said goodbye to Cherry Springs State Park. We had perfect conditions last night. If you haven't seen that video, go back and watch last week because it was just incredible. So unfortunately, this means that the PA Wilds road trip is wrapping up. 5 days, 5 state parks, and I think I saved the best for last. Like I said, Kinzua Bridge, we're gonna be hiking down to the bottom of the valley, checking out the wreckage. I'll be taking you on the Skywalk to see some incredible views of the valley below, and then finally wrapping things up and taking you into the visitor center. So yeah, hopefully you guys all enjoyed that intro. I worked hard on it. Hopefully you learned something from it, and hopefully you just come to the conclusion on how unique and special this state park truly is. So yeah, enough talking. I'm gonna get the bag on and let's get to hiking. And here we are, the first stop for the day. As I said, I'm gonna take you out onto the bridge. And yeah, these views just never get old. I believe this is the 5th or 6th time for me to visit this state park. And yeah, incredible each and every time. I'm not gonna really talk too much about the history since we went over that in the intro. But of course, this bridge was destroyed by a tornado and it's just a testament to time. This was known as the eighth wonder of the world when it was built. It was the highest train bridge in the entire world. Hard to believe. They would have hauled coal and lumber across this bridge, taking it from town to town, and now it's just a reminder of the strength and power of nature. Pretty amazing. Alrighty, have the bridge all to myself, and I will say this: if you are not a fan of heights, this is not the place for you. You can even look between the railroad ties at a nice 300+ foot drop. And to make matters worse, I guess they have decided that this bridge might not be in tip-top shape right now, and they have decided to close this bridge for 3 years coming in October. So that's kind of the reason why I chose to come up here. They're going to open it each and every year for fall foliage, but yeah, it's going to take them 3 years to fix a half of this bridge. And that's kind of like an ongoing joke on Facebook. I guess originally it only took them 8 months to build this bridge back in the 1800s, and now modern day 2024, it's going to take them 3 years to rehabilitate, you know, a half of a bridge. Kind of funny. But yeah, here we are at the end. Nice plexiglass. Like I said, if you're not a fan of heights, you're not gonna like this, even though it is kind of fogged over. But yeah, what an incredible park. This is another one of those top 25 must-see Pennsylvania parks. And here is your first look at the wreckage on down below. Look at that. Well, I could stay up here all day looking down upon the wreckage. You can see Kinzua Creek meandering its way through the carnage. But just a crazy thought to look around and see how rough and rugged this landscape is here in the PA Wilds. Even crazier to think that a tornado was able to come through this valley here, an F1, and destroy this bridge in a matter of seconds. And from what I read, you could see the bases that head on through the valley there. That tornado had so much power, it lifted the bridge off of those bases 4 or 5 times. Just imagine the strength of the wind, 100-mile-per-hour wind. So yeah, the story of Kinzua Bridge. And I think we're gonna wrap things up here from the Skywalk. The next time you see me, we will be down there among all the wreckage, and maybe even try to make it up to the other side of the bridge. So yeah, pretty crazy. Alrighty, well, the Kinzua Bridge tour continues. As you can see behind me, nice view of the bridge. I made it down to this observation deck. You can really get a good sense of the size and the scale of the bridge and the carnage down below. But I just wanted to talk about two little discrepancies about this area that maybe some people don't realize. So the bridge that we're looking at right now is actually not the original. The original, built back in 1882, was made of wrought iron, and they eventually tore it down and replaced it in the 1900s. So yeah, they referred to this as the 8th wonder of the world because it was the highest railroad bridge in the world. And second, I think a lot of people assume that this state park was established after the wreckage, but this park was established back in 1963 during kind of like the tourism era of the bridge. So yeah, a nice little informative plaque here saying that in 2002 an inspector deemed the viaduct unsafe, and long story short, they started to work on the bridge, basically rebuilding it. And unfortunately, while they were rebuilding it, 3:15 July 21st 2003, an F1 tornado hit the bridge. Thankfully, nobody was hurt, nobody was killed. It could have been way worse, but definitely a sad story, and kind of ironic that they were on their way of rebuilding the bridge when the tornado struck. So yeah, we're gonna wrap things up here at the overlook and head on down into the mangled steel. So I'll see you down there. Well, we are just about halfway down the trail right now, and it is steep. Just popped out of the woods here, and you get another view of this just monstrosity here. It's very, very hard to film this on GoPro, and GoPros are notoriously wide angled, but it's just hard to show you the scale and the size of this bridge. It's almost more impressive, in my opinion, to come down to this side of the bridge and look up at it rather than look down. You don't really get a good perspective from being up there, but yeah, another awesome look at this giant bridge. Just on through the woods there, you can make out that old concrete block. I believe that was probably used for the first bridge, that old wrought iron bridge that was built in the 1800s. So pretty cool to see that still surviving in 2024. Reports said that after the tornado, one of the main reasons of the collapse was due to rust. And this section of the bridge has obviously been restored, but you can kind of get an idea of how this bridge is all held apart. But as you can see, still a lot of rust to this day. That might be why they are deciding to redo it. But these concrete posts are obviously much different than the old ones that held this bridge up. You can see them going up and down the hill there, just in front of me. As you can see, we have made it down to the mighty Kinzua Creek here, and some really awesome views. Off to my left hand side here, you can see the sky bridge that we were at just a couple minutes ago. Give you some scale and perspective. And then off to the right, you can see the other side of the bridge. So we're gonna head on over and check out the wreckage. Alrighty folks, well here we are. We have arrived in the debris field, as I'm calling it. You can see where we were just a couple hours ago. That section of the bridge always kind of reminded me of those walkers from Star Wars, if you know what I mean. But yeah, every time I come here, it's just mind-blowingly crazy. Just the wreckage down here. This big piece in front of me here would have been vertical, straight up, nearly 300 feet, I think, standing on these posts, these big concrete posts. And if we look over here, you can even see the bearings that this bridge would have stood on back in the 2000s. And these bearings would have swayed with the bridge, allowing it to stand up during high winds. Well, maybe not all high winds, but yeah, just a crazy sight here. One of the coolest spots in Pennsylvania to spend a couple hours in. Well, hearing that train off in the distance got me thinking I didn't really explain what this bridge was used too much for. So as you probably already know, back in the 1800s, Pennsylvania was just harvested. All of its trees were gone. A lot of areas were just a barren wasteland, including this area here. So the train primarily carried timber back and forth through towns and cities that needed it. Basically for mine usage, a lot of times they would use it for the timber in the mines. But yeah, the bridge was primarily used for timber as well as the coal extraction in this area. And then up until like the 1900s, the late 1900s, it became more of a tourist hub. You could take a train from Kane to another station. They'd stop at the Allegheny National Forest. It was about an hour-long ride, and I've actually met quite a few people that have taken that trip, and everybody said it was incredible. Well, sadly, I'll never get the chance to do that, but we have this amazing sad wreckage to look at. So yeah, a little history about what they actually use this bridge for, because it kind of always boggled my brain that this bridge collapsed but they never fixed it, but it was more for tourism at that point. So yeah, we're slowly making our way up this hillside here. I'm not sure if we can make it all the way up. I believe they might have no trespassing signs the further we get up, but yeah, just a little history for you. All right, folks, well, just up ahead, I don't know how well you can see it, there is a no trespassing sign. So probably best idea not to incriminate myself and film myself doing illegal activities within the state park. So yeah, this is going to be probably the highest view we get of the bridge, but still impressive nonetheless. So yeah, I'm going to start my trek back up to the visitor center, get a little bit of water. I'll show you inside of the visitor center and we'll get to hitting the road. But yeah, just an awesome state park. Like I said, if you can make it out here before they close the bridge, do so, because it's worth it. Very fortunate to have this in my home state. So all right, hopefully you guys learned something. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you probably at the top of the hill here. All right, well, as you can tell by my heavy breathing, we have made it back to the top. The visitor center is off to my left, one of the most beautiful state-of-the-art visitor centers you'll find in the state park system here in Pennsylvania. So I'm gonna go throw the tripod into the truck and I'll show you around, and we will wrap up Kinzua Bridge State Park. So I'll see you inside in just a second. All right, drop the bag and we're gonna head on into the visitor center. First thing you notice is that cool entrance. I love the attention to detail there. You can see the old bridge trusses like we just seen a couple minutes ago. So let's head on in. Really cool picture of the bridge here. This is just where we were standing. You can see all the outbuildings down here. Pretty crazy. It's them building the piers. Looks like they even had an old little train system that would probably haul down the iron. Yeah, like I said, this has to be one of the best state park visitor centers within the state. Check all this out. All kinds of interactive displays, some remnants from the past, including the rivet and the rivet driver. They got some old wrenches, an old lunch pail, and just some general history of how they built this bridge. They built the entire viaduct originally in just 94 days. And really cool to scale. Statue of Liberty, showing you a comparison between the Statue of Liberty and the bridge. That is really cool. And then off to the left, you can see the bridge on through the window. Lots of stuff for kids. They got all this interactive, hands-on. Look at that. Yeah, just a really cool visitor center. Stop and take a minute and check it out if you're ever in the area. I'm sure this is going to be open when they close the bridge still, so. Alrighty folks, well, that was the visitor center. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, if you get a couple minutes, stop by here. It's really interactive, really awesome, great for the whole family. So $60 later, we are ready to hit the road. So that's going to be a wrap for state park number 39 for the channel, Kinzua Bridge State Park, and also a wrap for my PA Wilds road trip. 5 state parks in 5 days. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I had a blast. Another 4th of July adventure in the books. So yeah, if you aren't already subscribed, please hit that button. We're going to be going to some really cool places coming up here soon. Give the video a like, leave me a comment, tell me if you've ever been to the PA Wilds, and yeah, I will see you next week, next Friday as always. Maxim Outdoors signing out from Kinzua Bridge State Park.